Hi, and welcome back to Destiny University. This is going to be the Take Control of Your Psyche program. This is really the flagship offering from Destiny University with the goal of helping you to take control of your psyche. Module 1 is the orientation and foundations of taking control of your psyche, and we're going to hop right in. So, in terms of entering the laboratory of destiny, this is not just another workshop where you listen and take notes. It is a living laboratory for self-transformation. Here you are both the scientist and the experiment. Your psyche is the subject and your destiny is the result. So by taking control of our psyche, we take control of our destinies. That's a really big takeaway here. Nothing stays theoretical. Every idea is tested, felt, and embodied. Education is therapy. Therapy as education is really the crux of it for us here today. Unlike traditional learning, which fills the mind with facts, this model is about integration. Knowledge is paired with practices that rewire your nervous system, and the classroom itself functions like a healing space. Every discussion, reflection, and exercise removes programming and unlocks the natural, fully integrated adult heterosexual psyche. This is not just a classroom, it is a sanctuary for truth and a workshop for your nervous system. Here we strip away what is not you and amplify what is you, and think of this space as a design studio for your inner operating system, where we consciously re-engineer your psyche into a coherence and flow. So what is Destiny University? Society installs invisible programs on us of shame, fear, guilt, and the need for approval and approval seeking. These scripts act as malware for your psyche, and Destiny University is not about adding more programs, it's about uninstalling that which is never meant to be there. The outcome is not just a better version of you, it is the real you that has always been present beneath the clutter. A sculptor does not create a statue. The figure is already inside the marble itself. With each strike of the chisel, unnecessary stone falls away until the masterpiece emerges. In the same way, your authentic psyche is already whole. It just needs the unnecessary stone of societal programming chipped away. You are not broken. You are not here to patch yourself up or manufacture a new identity. You are here to uncover. You recover the brilliance that has been buried beneath the cultural noise. That recovery is your destiny. So the psyche is the human operating system, or the HOS, and the psyche functions like an operating system, constantly running in the background, determining how you perceive reality and respond to it. In the interconnected layers, and this is in order, or actually this one isn't actually in order, we're going to mention a couple of them, they'll go into order a little bit later, but it's really going to be your physiology, your emotions, beliefs, identities, your focus, your language, your habits, your relationships. And fragmentation happens when these layers tell different stories. Integration happens when all of these layers align into one coherent message, and that alignment creates effortless flow. A concentric circle document of psyche, we'll see that later, and with each layer radiating outward and arrows showing harmony when integrated, and cracks represent conflict when fragmented. So destiny begins inside. Destiny begins with the psyche. And many chase destiny outside themselves through promotions, possessions, relationships, approval seeking in some way, shape, or form. But external victories often feel hollow because they reflect not cause or inner alignment. When your psyche is fragmented, success feels like ashes. When your psyche is integrated, even small wins feel profound. Imagine a movie projected onto a screen. If the lens is cracked, the image will always be distorted, no matter how much you polish the screen. The psyche is the lens. Remember the lens, and suddenly everything outside becomes clear, bright, and meaningful. Your destiny does not live outside you. It begins inside, in the lens of your psyche. Master the projector, and you master the movie of your life. So in terms of the three stages of integration, you awaken, the awakening from numbness. You shift from living on autopilot to feeling vividly alive. So for example, noticing the sensation of the wind on your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the sound of laughter around you. It is rediscovery of being. Authenticity without performance. You speak truthfully, express emotions freely, and live unfiltered. And in this example of a child playing around, dancing without music, unconcerned with how they look, the stage becomes removed. The stage removes the mask. The unfolding of creativity and contribution. Flow states become common. Ideas, solutions, and art pour through you effortlessly. This is an example of athlete being in the zone, or a writer whose words flow as if dictated by a higher source. And these stages build on each other, Sentience awakens awareness. Awareness allows consciousness to become authentic. And authenticity unlocks genius. Genius is not something necessarily you just earn. It is something that reveals itself when you're fully integrated. So this brings up the concept of the dashboarded versus undashboarded life. Imagine flying a plane where you're staring at only dials, income, likes, promotions, all approval-seeking stuff. You never look out the window to see the sky. Dashboarded living means defining yourself by numbers, external validation, never by direct experience. The undashboarded life, living without a false interface, you feel the wind, you see the horizon, you experience life directly. You are no longer performed for approval. You flow from authenticity. Joy becomes your natural baseline, not a reward for meeting conditions. A dashboarded person is posting online, anxiously checking likes. Their mood rises and falls with the numbers. An undashboarded person shares the same post simply because it feels joyful. It's an expression. Heading on to the next one, in terms of a reflection question, and keep in mind this is just the orientation of the foundations. Where in life do you feel robotic, scripted, or stuck on autopilot? Where do you feel alive, spontaneous, or authentic? That's the difference between dashboarded experience of life and undashboarded. And we're going to give 5 minutes to journal privately based upon this. So I want you to think through that and write down, where in your life do you feel robotic, scripted, and stuck on autopilot, meaning dashboarded, versus where do you feel alive, spontaneous, and authentic, undashboarded? And we encourage you to speak honestly without judgment. To create and contrast between dashboarded and undashboarded moments of your actual lives. This helps to anchor the concept of lived reality, not just abstract theory. And in terms of a guided practice instruction, we'll do a little bit of body and breath awareness to awaken your sentience, and then from there, your natural consciousness. And I want you to close your eyes, notice your breath, let it flow naturally. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, the sensation of air passing through your nose. Notice your body. Do nothing but observe. That's it. Observation itself awakens aliveness. And we're going to give the students a tangible taste of what undashboarded presence feels like. Even just a few minutes of pure observation can open the door to integration. And the big takeaway here is, when you think destiny, I want you to think taking control of your psyche, because the first step to taking control of your destiny is to take control of your psyche. Destiny does not begin on the outside, not in possessions, promotions, approval seeking. It begins in reclaiming your psyche as your human operating system. So when you're on your own operating system, you stop being a passenger in the car that's taking you someplace where you don't necessarily know where you're going. You become the pilot, the architect, and the author of your own destiny. So hopefully this was helpful, guys. Stay in touch. We have many more lessons when it comes to this course, and super excited to have you along for the ride. Thanks.